A settlement being discussed in an antitrust lawsuit against the NCAA and major college conferences could cost billions and pave the way for a compensation model for college athletes. An agreement has not been finalized and many questions remain unanswered. It is also unclear if new rules could withstand further legal scrutiny, but it appears college sports is heading down a revolutionary path with at least some schools directly paying athletes to participate. Here's what is known and what still needs to be figured out. House vs. NCAA is a class action federal lawsuit seeking damages for athletes who were denied the opportunity to earn money from use of their name, image or likeness going back to 2016. The plaintiffs, including former Arizona State swimmer Grant House, are also asking the court to rule that nil compensation should include billions of dollars in media rights fees that go to the NCAA and the wealthiest conferences, Big Ten, Big 12, Atlantic Coast and Southeastern, mostly for football and basketball. The settlement being discussed could have the NCAA paying nearly $3 billion in damages over 10 years, with help from insurance and withholding of distributions that would have gone to the four big conferences. Last year, NCAA revenue approached $1.3 billion and the association projects a steady rise in coming years, thanks mostly to increases baked into the television contract with CBS and Warner Bros. Discovery for the men's basketball tournament. A new, 8-year deal with ESPN worth $920 million for the Division I women's basketball tournament and other championship events takes effect in 2025. The potential settlement also calls for a $300 million commitment from each school in those four conferences over 10 years, including about $20 million per year directed toward paying athletes. Administrators have warned that could lead to program cuts for the so-called non-revenue sports familiar to fans who watch the Olympics. It's the Olympic sports that would be in jeopardy, Alabama Athletic Director Greg Byrne said during a March panel in Washington led by Senator Ted Cruz, Republican Texas. That's men and women. If you look at the numbers for us at the University of Alabama, with our 19 sports outside of football and men's basketball, we lost collectively almost $40 million. Not entirely clear. Presumably, it would start with the athletes in sports that produce most of the revenue, football and men's basketball players at the biggest and wealthiest programs. Women's basketball is likely next in line, but it is possible athletes in all sports could see some benefit, but probably not at all schools. What's being considered is allowing schools to pay athletes, but not requiring those payments. Schools that don't rake in millions in TV revenue wouldn't necessarily be on the hook. There are also unanswered questions about whether the federal gender equity law Title IX would require equal funding for male and female athletes.